I'm sorry, Joe.
Alex's home run feel as big to you as it turned out to be?
Yeah. Well, you know, we scored the 3, and then they got the 1 back, and that was sort of getting that one back. And then, of course, Euclid tightened it up again, and Mo just came in, and whatever he did it perfectly.
Are you hoping not to use him in that 8th inning?
Well, you don't want to use him. And I give Farnsey a lot of credit after he gave up the home run to strike Drew out, who has probably been more of a nemesis than anybody else on him. You know, I think he's got 5 hits and 3 of them are home runs or something like that. So, you know, he attacked him, and then I didn't mind the walk of Veritek, especially the fact that he fell behind him 3-0, and got him back to 3-2. But he wanted to make a good pitch. But once it got to that point, then Mo was the guy. He won't be the guy tomorrow in the 8th inning, but he was the guy today.
He seemed pretty dominant too. To have 3 balls hit right back to him.
Yeah, I mean that's all about movement. And you can talk to Andy Phillips. He said probably he threw the best cutter to him to end the game at first base.
It's guaranteed you win the series now. How nice is it?
Well, it's we'd like to certainly get a little greedy at this point in time because we need to win ball games, and right now our high water mark is I think it was 16, 17 over at one time. So we still have work to do to get there, and the fact that we won the first 2 games in the series against an outstanding ball club, does a lot for our confidence. Hopefully, we can come back out here tomorrow and feel the same way.
The game that Roger pitched, do you think that was kind of the game that he came back to pitch, this atmosphere and this type of thing?
Well, again, Roger is giving you a chance to win. And you look up there, you had no hitter going. That's probably the worst thing you wanted to have happen. But again, he just goes out there and grinds away. He gets some counts against him. But aside from that little glitch there where he walked a couple of guys, he makes you hit the ball and tries to get you out by every means possible. And I thought he got us through 6, and he left us with a lead.
What do you think your hitters were able to see from Beckett tonight, and why were they able to pound out so many hits?
Well, we pounded out so many hits, but we didn't score other than that 2nd inning off him, and I think you give him a lot of credit. I know Johnny Damon said, I don't know how we got 12 hits off this guy, because he was able to do a lot of stuff with that ball today, whether it was sinking it, riding it, curve balls that he was catching guys looking on. I thought he was terrific tonight. I know he gave up the 12 hits or whatever it was, but he certainly got the out when he needed to.
Even though you're watching Pedroia at the plate, is there kind of an unspoken understanding of watching the guy on deck in the 9th inning?
Oh, Pedroia's tough. Pedroia's tough. He's a scrappy little player. He's got some power that's hidden in there, and you certainly don't take him for granted because you don't take him lightly. Because he's he's up there hitting 315, 320. But yeah, of course, you don't want the big guy to come to the plate. And Mo, as I say, he couldn't have been any more perfect than he was tonight.
Joe, how quickly do things change? Maybe it's just the time of year, but 2 nights ago, kind of a doom and gloom. But now, these 2 wins, you're right back. Wild card essentially tied at this point.
Well, the thing that we know has to happen is we need to pitch to win. Again, we can score runs, we can get a lot of hits, but unless we can control the game somewhat, and I know you're tired of hearing me say that, but that's the only way you can look at trying to win ball games is to pitch effectively and give our bullpen not a lot of work to do, and we were able to do that tonight.
For Farnsworth to be back in the 8th and stumble a bit, is that a concern at all to you?
No, I thought he threw the ball really well. I didn't think he was wild. I thought the one pitch he tried to throw to Euclid away, and it got inside, and he hit the home run. Aside from that, as I say, I thought a great test for him was J.D. Drew, because he has not had success with him over the long haul, and to come back and strike him out after giving up the home run, I thought was even more of a test than coming in with a 3-run lead.
Your guys had a couple of infield singles. I think Melky had 2 himself. How important was some of that in making Beckett work, keeping him out there, making him throw pitches?
But you know what? He bent, but he didn't break. I know we got those runs. And Melky got the base hit, and then Johnny hit the opposite field single. But we could have done so much more damage with those hits we got, but he wouldn't let it happen. So, but where we had good at bats, we worked his pitch count up, and again we we were able to score enough to win a ball game.
And yet it must feel better. I mean, you're saying all of that, but you won the game. At least you're not saying all of that and lamenting that.
Oh, no question, no question. But I mean, we kept coming at him, and I just give him a lot of credit. I know he was a losing pitcher, but someone asked me before the game, if you don't play a good game, what does that mean? It means you lose. Not necessarily. I mean, he pitched very well. He lost the game, but it didn't mean that he didn't do his job out there.